ओम सदाशिवसमारंभा शंकराचार्य मध्यमा अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंता वंदे गुरुपरंपरा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहि तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So now we are in the 16th chapter. So the chapter is called Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yuga. So we added one more word, Daiva Asura Rakshasa Sampat. So Rakshasa also we need to understand, but generally in our scripture, Rakshasa is never discussed. Always Deva and Asura. So the war always happens between Devatas and Asuras. Because already we discussed that there are three types of people if we look at in this way. So the first one was called Dvesha Pradhana. So the person always starts with negativity, hatred, disliking. So you say anything and everything, always the person says no, no, no. And that leads to Krodha Pradhana. And everybody is afraid of that person. So never constructive person. That's why run away. So everybody wants to protect themselves from that person. That's why I say Rakshanti Janaha Asmatiti. So that person is called a Rakshasa. Second type of people that we discussed called what that person is called Raga Pradhana Subha. So that means predominantly attachment oriented. So because of this attachment oriented, the person is pure materialistic. And the consequences, you know, how the person becomes fundamental, how the person wants to prove what to do, what to not to do. So that's why it says his Swabhava or her Swabhava is what? Asusu Ramante iti. Asusu Ramate, it should be Asusu Ramate iti Asuraha. So that means the person always revels in Asu, means sense organs, Indriyasu. Sometimes we say Pranesu ityarthaha. So the prana or in the sense organs. So always wants to take care of one's own likes, one's own whims and fancies that we have seen in details. So that person is called what? Asuraha. Now imagine these two, the first one no chance, Asura also no chance because the best example is Ravana. So Ravana was one of the best, remember, one of the best, not one of the best devotee of Lord Shiva. Then what happened? You know better. So he was also great because Mayasura, because one of the Vastu we follow Mayasura. Mayasura is one of his, not one, his father-in-law. So, and this Ravana was one of the best Vastu person. And he wanted to build the, let us say, palace for Lord Shiva in Kailas. That too, golden palace. And he built it. And after building it, so Dakshina, he has to take something. Then finally, what happened? I want Dakshina that house. Because he thought if he takes the house, so along with the house, Lord Shiva, Parvati, and whole family can come with him. Never happened. Okay, you wanted house, take the house, get out. So that is called Asura Pravritti in short. The person does many things, finally is destroyed for no reason. So that person also is not that good. So the third one was called Jnana Pradhana. So this Jnana Pradhana, people are called Deva Swabhava. So always knowledge oriented. So whatever I do, so my always aim is knowledge oriented. That's why in Veda, that the first portion of Veda is important. Without first portion of Veda, second portion doesn't work. One of the main reason, even though if you observe, especially Buddhism is almost close to Hinduism, almost, not completely. In fact, they are against many things. One of the main reasons is they are against of Veda itself. But what happens is the first portion of Veda, let us say, is not being given importance. And if the first portion of Veda is not being given importance, that means if the cultural practices are not there, your way of life will not be molded. If your way of life is not molded, definitely what will happen? Definitely, you cannot have better character, better personality. So when you don't have better character or better personality, now your way of life starts fluctuating. Of course, your way of goal also will have a tough time that we have discussed in details. It's exactly we say very carefully. That's what we say, you know, that we use this word. A house, generally, a home without a child, a ashram without a cow or temple is a disaster. Why and how you can say? I can tell you. Why? Suppose a child is not there. What happens, especially nowadays, living together or stay together or married together, whatever, makes no difference for me here in this context. Whenever they want to get up, they can get up. There is no timings, nothing. You understand? Completely like bachelor life, sophisticated bachelor life. And moreover, the life becomes more what? Fun oriented or enjoyment oriented. Whereas when child is there, even if you want to get off, can you? Even if you don't want to get off, sleep for a little longer time, can you? Sorry, the child, okay? It has its own routine. You have to follow, you have to take care. Same thing also ashram, especially Vedantin ashrams. They will do nothing, light a lamp and leave it. I have seen many places, okay? Just light a lamp and leave it. How we don't do anything? And especially if you come to here in without taking bath, also they do everything here, okay? Many places. Because Panchasnana, they do it, okay? Don't ask me further this, okay? Now, what happens in the process? If there is no temple or Gomata, then again you behave the way you want. Whereas when there is a temple, so whether you like it or not, you have to fix the time. That time is to be maintained. Whether it's winter or summer or rainy season makes no difference. So that makes your way of life. Can you see the understand the point? So this Veda Haga makes your Veda Purvahaga makes sure that your way of life is streamlined. And that is has to be followed, or else remember this goal of life is not going to work. So while discussing this thing, now Lord Krishna wants to discuss beautifully. So what does it mean? So how you look at? So he says, look, there are these values that already we have discussed in 13th chapter. So in 13th chapter, when you if you look at, if you remember, in 13th chapter, verse number some book 7 or 8. So where it was said, Amanitvam Adambitum Ahimsa Kshantirarjavam Acharyopasanam Saucham Stairyam Atma Vinigraha Indriyasu Vairagyam Anankara Evacha Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha, dukkanu darshan, dosanu darshan. Don't look at me like this. Then that means you are not understanding where am I, okay? Try to refer. So then it goes on and on. Finally says what? Says beautifully. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etad jnanam iti proktam adjnanam yadanot nyatha. So there, this jnanam was being considered as values. So here, those values are being talked indifferently and is being called as Daivi Sampati. That we'll see. Now let us read fast. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhi
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi
Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi
Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi
Danam Damascha Yajnascha
Dhanam Dhamascha Yajnascha
Swadhyayastapa Arjavam
Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam
Ahimsa Satyamakrodha
Ahimsa Satyama Krodha
Tyaga Santirapaisunam
Tyaga Shantira Vaishunam
Daya Bhute Suloluptam
Daya Bhuteshu Lolutvam
Madhavam Hrirachapalam
Madhavam Hrira Chapalam
Teja Kshama Dhruti Shaucham
Teja Kshama Vriti Shaucham
Adroho Nati Manita
Adroho Nati Manita
Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim
Bhavanti Sampadam
Abhijatasya Bharata.
Jatasya Bharata.
So says beautifully, O Bharata. So means O Arjuna. So when it says O Arjuna, so that means what? Abhijatasya. So for the one who is born. So what? Sampadam Daivim, the wealth of Deva. So what are they? So now these are the things. Starts with Abhayam. So when he says Abhayam, let us look at very nicely. This really to be seen carefully. So Abhayam means generally we know as freedom from sense of fear. This is the first point to be seen. When you look at this freedom from sense of fear, this is to be looked at, especially all these values, from two standpoints. One is absolute standpoint, other one is from the value standpoint. Because from the absolute standpoint, the freedom from sense of fear will completely go away with the knowledge, not by anything. So that is not being discussed. Here is being discussed from the standpoint of the values as the wealth. So that means relatively as much as possible. So when you say relatively, now let us look at what is the sense of fear. Let us try to analyze, then we'll understand how to overcome. The sense of fear always connected to sense of loss. Somewhere in the back of the mind, it runs that I am going to lose. That sense of loss and sense of death, these two, creates sense of fear in me. But the problem here is I don't understand that the main thought, the background thought called sense of loss / sense of death, that I am going to die or I will die. Now, when I am not able to see this, what I do? I want to protect. I want to be alive. I want to run away. That's why if you look at especially any this Discovery Channel, Animal Planet Channel, if you look at a small creature, When it's being chased by little bigger creature, predator, what happens? Wants to run away from that. Because it's instinct. I want to survive. I don't want to die. Why should I die? No. So that means what? That I want to die, I don't understand. But I don't want to lose. So now this person is a sense of my fear. This object is sense of my fear. This situation is object of fear. Is it clear? So what happens here? When a person starts understanding behind the sense of fear, there is sense of death or sense of loss. Now you start analyzing what is sense of loss. Let us look at this physical body called death. Yes, I lose this physical body. Hey, what is wrong in it? This is made up of 5 elements. So when it is made up of 5 elements, it has to. Or house. Oh, his house will be destroyed. A house was made up of bricks and whatnot. If it goes, it goes. It is supposed to go. It is a matter of time. It is 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, 200 years. It cannot stay long. Anything that I have gained, I am going to lose. Including my tooth, okay? So hair losing is not a problem. Remember this, okay? So hair losing because only problem for others, okay? But losing tooth is not a joke. So including, losing tooth will happen because this is the part of my life. That is love. So then when I start analyzing it, then what I do, I start facing. So that's why we say very carefully that the sense of loss or sense of fear can be handled when a person learns to face. If the person does not face, that's why panic attack comes. The more you try to run away, more psychological problem and you will end up with panic attacks. Because unresolved, unattended sense of loss. So that's why what need to be done, very carefully being highlighted here, that you need to have vichara. So that's why we have discussed very carefully in the previous chapter that fourfold qualifications. So what are the fourfold qualifications? That starts with vairagya, dispasana. Then second, sadguna. So all the gunas. So these are being taught. And the third one was called saranagati, the surrendering. And the fourth one was called atmavichara. Now here, this avayam, something will happen, making one's own self free from sense of fear when these two are there in life. Put all these four into two. So what are they? So one is viveka, other one is bhakti. Without bhakti and viveka, it is almost difficult for a person to become free from sense of fear. I'll give you different types of examples. This is what happens in many cases. I remember Pujya Swami used to give this example. So his example was like this. He said, look, because many Swamijis, especially those who stay in Uttarakansi, once they stay in Uttarakansi, they don't feel like going down those days. This is another, life here. And once you stay here, it's another, really. And there was a Swami stayed for, once you stay a few years continuously, that's all. Difficult to go down. So that Swami was staying here for 20, 30 years. So his health was bad. Then his devotees tried to put a pressure, come down, we'll give you better treatment, this and that, all these things. So I said, no, I'm here, fantastic. No, you have to. We are taking care of everything. You don't have to go. Please. When these disciples or followers did not listen to it, okay, he said, look, now, let me give you an example and you answer me. That is a Puchishwami's, way of talking. Now I am giving discourse. Now I discover there is one elderly person who was actually very old known person, my maybe friend. So he is sitting with all the people. Maybe he wanted to talk to me something, not able to talk. Or else why suddenly he is available here. Now after the talk, everything is over. Everybody one after another goes. Now my eyes have fallen on him and his eyes also has fallen on me. Now what should I do? Should I not spare some time to talk to him? Now, of course, Swamiji, this is a common thing. You have to spare some time to talk to him. Now, should I go away? No, definitely not. Thank you. When I was born, along with the birth, death also came. In between, somewhere it vanished, but I did not notice. It was there with me, but I did not notice it vanished. Now it is appearing in front of me in the form of dhada dhada mada mada gada gada. You understand? So every part of body makes a noise, okay? Now when it has appeared in front of me, what should I do? Am I not supposed to talk to them? Am I not supposed to accept? Am I not supposed to spend some time with the death? Or shall I run away to different better hospitals, better places, better things? This is ridiculous. And especially when people, I personally feel sorry for it, when people die on a ventilator. Not necessarily. Yes, treatment you must take care. The moment you discover, look, that the body is not going to support anymore, never ever take the support of this artificial living life system. Not necessarily. It's better so that another body is going to come quickly. You understand what I'm trying to say? So why to live like a, frozen vegetable? But those people want to live like a frozen vegetable because there is sense of fear. And sense of fear is so strong. That's why in any religion, especially, because of lack of either bhakti and viveka, some people have viveka, some people have only bhakti. You understand? That's why fear is there. Only bhakti will not work. That's why even if you look at Christianity especially, the more they become old, they become more afraid. That's why to make sure people spend huge money for coffee, whether it should be gold or it should be, this, that, and what sort of cloth, you cannot think of, okay? And some people, I have noticed, some people make a will, what sort of coffin should be there? Why don't you buy? I remember somebody told me that the person bought beforehand. Forget about somebody. I saw one Swami here in Rishikesh. So he has made a box. And shows box, I'm sorry to use this word, bad word. He shows the box to every other Swami to trap them. So to get some money. Because I was also part of that. There are different ways of collecting money you cannot think of. However, let us not get into that complication situation here. So the fear continues as long as I don't look at, I don't have vichar. When I use my vivek, minimum thing, like the body, if not today, tomorrow has to fall. That's the ultimate sense of loss. Somebody has come, somebody has to go. This house is there, will go. Whatever comes has to go. So I need to use my viveka continuously. And viveka can be used continuously when there is vairagya. If I am already attached, if there is oneness with this pain, I don't look at pain is different from me. Now, will I be able to use discriminative power with reference to this pain? Because pain and me are one and same. Where is discriminative power? So when there is no vairagyam, viveka cannot be used. Very simple. Then comes this bhakti. So bhakti, that surrender, the devotion to the Almighty takes care of you. Because when you were born, you didn't have anything. You survived. Very nicely, they say, when I came, I didn't bring anything. Now I am fighting for everything. While I live, I will not carry anything. What a funny person I am. I came with nothing, here fighting for everything. While living, I will not carry anything. This is the truth, this is the reality. So there comes the surrender. And why I'm highlighting this aspect is, especially a sannyasi, a sadhu is supposed to be fearless. Because a sadhu, a sannyasi, is not under the umbrella of anything or anyone. The sky is the umbrella. The God only is the person where the person can take shelter. And because of complete devotion, complete surrender, and of course, Viveka Buddhi each and every moment uses. Even if a sannyasi does not have anything, most secure person. The security comes, that is called ultimate security. Security does not come with your money, with your bank balance, with your property, with your name, fame, family, and supporting system. In fact, supporting system makes you more weaker. Especially if I look at myself, thank God to the teaching I am dwelling. But in spite of that, I can say that I was a much, much better person when I didn't have anything. What a energy. Like some people will say, Durvasa is coming, okay? I'm not telling you jokes. What I say those days, that's a final. Nobody can change, including me, because whatever has come out, that is over. Many times I have gone through, those days in the Indian this security in the airport. No checking, nothing. Name said, please, because that energy is so strong. Nobody looks at. Now when I look at, nobody bothers. Hey, Swamiji, come. What is there? So what I'm trying to highlight here is that supporting system does not make you free from fear. But you all always working to handle the sense of fear with the help of supporting system. Can you see this point? Be honest yourself to yourself. Whatever you are doing, just to handle your sense of fear. Now, all the supporting system that you have created or creating, continuing, you think is going to help you? In fact, it is going to create further complication in your life. And especially, I notice people, they become more, their life become more and more complicated. Forget people, even if it's Swamijis. They get stuck. That's why here it's being highlighted very carefully. The first concept is avhayam. That's why we say a sannyasi gives avhayam. This is called avhaya mudra. So that means what? I am not afraid of anything, nor anyone should be afraid of me. Because there is no fear. Because when I am not afraid of anybody, why others should be afraid of me? I am not a competitor. If you feel that you are if you feel that I am a competitor for you, that's your problem. If I happens to clarify you, I can clarify. If you are not able to understand, sorry, I'll continue my way. So the concept here is very clear and careful that I must work on to face the sense of fear. Why and how it comes. So instead of wasting my time with the supporting system, that will take care of my sense of fear. Please understand. Instead of working with the supporting system or creating supporting system, that will take care of my sense of fear. It is better to address the sense of fear once for all. And once you start addressing, what a beautiful life. You will not have any sense of regret, nor you will look back after your death. Or else you will keep looking back, and back. More of it we'll discuss next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.